game. Was it the game of the day? Maybe. The last game I want to look at, maybe that's the game of the day. I'm not sure. Probably this is. But. Okay, this is Giri versus Gukesh. The fight to see who's first alphabetically. And they played the, Ragazin kind of thing. They play a lot. And White played a rather tame variation to start. And we've seen a lot of games like this. And he played 94. And my knowledge ends around here. A3 takes. I always like these isolated pawn positions for White because White, has outposts for his knights, and Black's not developed too good. So this is an interesting idea which I wasn't familiar with, which is Rook C2 to E2 to get on this half-open line here. Queen C2. Rook Fe1. Okay, now in this position, the engine likes White like by about plus 0.8. And Black blundered here.
So that pawn's not hanging? Let's see. Wait.
This one? You want to take this pawn. Always take a pawn.
I'm just asking.
Yeah, if you play that, White would play the same way he did in the game, which I don't want to give it away yet.
Okay.
So he played King H8, which is a terrible move, losing immediately. And now Giri said, "You will know my name is the Lord." Giri played like a maniac here, which was correct, because this isn't really good for defending the king.
Right.
Frankly, I don't understand this move. I'm sure there's a good reason for it. I just don't know what it is. I guess, this is happening, so he wanted his, he knew that something was going to happen on E6, so he wanted his king off of there. Anyway, knight G5, which is what would have happened after bishop takes D4, threatening mate.
Okay.
So he takes it, and then he sacks his rook on E6. Now, obviously, if the king is on G8, then after takes, rook takes, you got a lot of issues. So I can see why he wanted his king on H8 in this case. Rook takes E6. So he's moving the queen off of the G pawn because the queen can't defend the G pawn anymore. Then if you do that, I play knight takes G5. I'm threatening queen H7 mate. And there's a lot of white pieces attacking Black's king. And Black doesn't really have good defense here to this king. So he sacrificed his queen because he's already taken a lot of material. And then Giri played queen here, threatening queen H3 mate, instead of taking back right away. So bishop E4. Now if queen H3, I can play bishop H7. Then bishop. This is actually quite complicated. And then I can play rook D7. And the engine likes White here, which is surprising to me. Oh, I see why. I can take and check and check and take this rook.
Okay.
And then White's not completely winning. Black has a rook and 2 pieces for a queen still. But White has 4 extra pawns. Okay, so he just took the bishop. Now it's 2 rooks and a knight for a queen, but the king is terrible. But rook takes, threatening the queen and mate. Queen F3, threatening check and mate and defending D1. G4, stopping queen H5 mate. Check. And now he's threatening mate, so he played bishop C2. And this knight's pinned, so you can't get these pieces out. And now your king's done for. It's funny, these pieces don't play. So it's like a queen and a bishop against a rook and a bishop. And now the engine says plus 10, so he resigned. What's funny is, after this, sacking your rook, the engine doesn't take the rook.
Okay.
The engine plays queen F5. And says, I mate you, you mate me. I don't know if it says that, but it's thinking it. Now the engine plays rook D1 check, forcing the bishop off of this G6. So if rook d6, for example, then I check, queen g7 check, and your king's just getting checkmated. Although I'm guessing if black didn't resign and played here, Giri would have taken that. Because that's just completely winning. Now we're still threatening rook queen here check.
Yeah.
So after bishop c2, Gukesh resigned. Very nice game by Giri, sacking on g5, sacking on e6, and the attack works because black has no defense to his king.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know this idea. I like it. Rook c2, rook e2, rook e1, and then bust through here. That was an interesting idea. But that's what you get for putting all your pieces, over on the queen side. Here there's no defense to black's king, and then black plays king h8. But yeah, I can see he was worried about like knight g5 and rook e6 and rook e6 and like just make a random move. I'll show you a funny mate. Move your queen somewhere. That's mate.
Nice.
Truth hurts. So really, really good game. The game of the day, I guess, except the next game is funnier. This game is not really funny. It's just Giri plays good and Gukesh doesn't. And Giri sacks all of his pieces. That's not very Giri-like. Giri did say gotcha bitch, which is unusual for him. Not a close battle. All battles are close. Yeah, that's the next game I'm going to look at, Bonker Sick. Thanks, Shma.
Hey, Han Superman.
And Shwanathan and Shlona. Go Shma.